Hey everyone, this is Steve Bell from Melbourne. I'm doing this was meant to be my week one update after my VSG surgery, but it's now about it's Wednesday, so it's actually just over a week. I'll start with the details, start with the figures, and go from there, and fill you in with all the events that have happened in the last week. My starting weight when I started the process pre-diet was 155 kilos, or 342.8. My weight on the Tuesday morning, which is when I went to have my surgery, was my weight last week, a week before surgery, was 144 kilos, or 317. My weight on surgery day was 141.5, or 311.95 pounds. I'll put all these figures up on the side. And my current weight today, after 8 days after surgery, is 139.9 kilos, or 308.4 pounds. Keeping my WWE wrestling theme, I'm now aiming for my big boss man weight at 305. There's really no wrestler around. I couldn't find a wrestler around this time. But just letting you know, I did probably put a couple of cryptic messages on Facebook and on my last week's surgery. It took me a little while to actually post my night before video, because we had some internet issues on that night, and just getting things ready to go head into this. I didn't get a chance to post it, and then with the events of being in hospital and things like that, I didn't get it posted until I got home, and it probably explains why it wasn't really posted until if you watch the whole video, you'll get a full understanding of why it took me nearly a week to post the video. But my first day, look, I'll premise before I go through everything, I'm doing pretty well under the circumstances that's happened this week. My first day, which was the Tuesday, was I was pretty out of it. As everyone explained, as I've seen on a lot of people's videos, that first 24 hours is always quite a tough time, where you're lots of drugs and you're struggling with what's going on. So first day I was pretty out of it, and then by the second day, the Wednesday, I still had a drip going in the arm, and they removed the drip probably late on that Wednesday, the day two, and I was feeling pretty ordinary, but I felt like I was going all right. So day three, they said to me in the morning, "Well, you're doing really well. We're really pleased with you. We're quite happy with you sending you home." So, and looking back at that day three, I wasn't doing as well as I thought I was doing. So, one of the big things I was really struggling with was, because of the drugs I was on, I was actually sleeping for like 2 hour blocks, and then have 20 minutes up, and then 2 hour blocks, 20 minutes up, and also getting used to not being able to have lots of food and lots of drink. I was struggling with the drinking, so that led into being on Friday morning. When I woke up, I felt really ordinary. I sat up in my bed, and I actually had to lean back a couple of times just to get enough energy there. Then what actually happened was I got up, moved out to the couch. My wife pretty much said, "You look terrible." And I said, "Oh, thank you, that's great to know," but I was feeling probably even worse than what she was implying. I worked out that I probably hadn't been drinking enough and hadn't been eating enough. So when I felt really groggy, I thought, look, I'm not sure if I'm in a really great way here. I should speak to the surgeon. So I rang up the surgeons and told them what was going on. Spoke to the nurse register with him, and the surgeon I went through was Kieran Bartia in Heidelberg Weight Loss Centre, and it's a weight loss centre that's actually got everyone all on site. So that's it, and that's probably one of the reasons I chose it, because it's got the surgeon on site, it's got the dietitian on site, psychologist on site, it's got nurse registers, it's everyone there, and they're all absolutely lovely. And so about 11 o'clock, tried to go to the toilet, and as I was moving myself into the toilet, I collapsed. So what actually happened was I collapsed onto the toilet bowl, and it ripped some of my stitches on my belly. So not in a great way. So my wife, I was unconscious. So my wife actually came in and said, "What's going on? You're right." And then she could hear dripping, so she thought I'd actually wet my pants, but I hadn't actually wet my pants. It was actually the blood that was coming from the stitching. So I was able to slither myself out onto the bathroom floor, and which I then rolled myself into a recovery position, and in the end needed to call an ambulance. So from there, the ambulance came. They put where our bathroom is, it's a bit of a tight U-turn. So what actually happened was they put a chair, and they were really worried that they were going to have to how they were going to get me out of that U-turn. So they put a chair in. They said when I came back into conscious a little bit, I was lying on the floor in a recovery position for all those first aiders. They said to me, "Look, can you just crawl yourself out into the front porch," which is probably about a 10-metre crawl. And then if we can get you out to the front porch, then we'll sit you down, we'll see how you're going, and then maybe we've got 5 steps to the front door, and then we go down. Our driveway's pretty steep. So it's only a short driveway, but it's pretty steep. So anyway, I said to them, "Look, can you put a chair into the hallway?" So I pulled myself out to the hallway and then sat myself in the chair, and bang, then I was out again. So I was on the floor again. So next thing I know, I woke up and looked up, and there's 5 people who I've got no idea who they were, and was really quite concerned. And then next thing, then I started realising that I had 5 ambulance officers there. So felt pretty bad, and one of the things that was going through my head was that their big concern was trying to get me out of the house. So in the end, they slipped a slider mat underneath me, and they slid me out to the front door. Then they put me on the trolley, and they lowered me and put me into the ambulance, and took me to the local hospital, the local public hospital. Although we're trying to take me to the local public hospital, but there's another hospital which is probably about another 10-15 minutes away, which is another public hospital, which is over the road from the hospital that I had my surgery, which is the private hospital. So the public hospital they took me was the Austin. So and then they took me back to Ringall private. The feeling was, well, let's take you to the Austin because you're closer to the Ringall. So I went back. Got admitted to Ringall. Got me admitted to the Austin. They put me on a whole lot of drips and fluids, and I think over the next 6 to 8 hours, probably 6 to 8 hours, they put about 3 litres of liquid into me, and started feeling a lot better. So, but while I was in the hospital, they decided to do some scans on the wounds that I'd opened up. So one of the scans they had to do was they actually lay you on a level like on the bed like this, and then they lay you up to pretty much a vertical state. When I first went into the hospital, they pretty much had to lay me down there, and they couldn't even lift the front of the bed. So if they lifted the front of the bed, I was going unconscious again. So when they had to do this scan, it was a bit of a concern. But what they actually did was they were able to lower. They were able to, after about 2 litres of liquid, they were able to lift it a little bit, so they were able to get in there and do the scans. Well, the scans went really, really well. So in a good way, when they looked, they were really just worried that I had with the falls that it had affected the insides. So, and they realised after what they'd done the scan, look, the wounds inside were actually healing really well. The fall had not affected any of the surgery, which was fantastic. They were it was more kind of scrapes and bruises and blood and all that kind of stuff on the front. So I'm really probably dismissing it a little bit there, because the bruises, I've got quite a huge bruise. You can't really see it much. It's got. There you go. There's my bruise. So a bit more than I probably should be showing on public YouTube, but yeah, I thought, well, you guys can see it. So quite a big bruise. So a bit tender. So what actually happened was, late that night they moved me back to Warringal about midnight, which was fantastic. I have to say, going back to Warringal, it felt like I was going home anyway. So I was able to go back to Warringal and spend a bit of time there. So the plan was there, look, let's just a couple of days in Warringal, see how we're going. And look, for me personally, going back to Warringal was great. Like I had my own ward, I had my own room. I could really watch what I wanted to watch, and ended up watching a lot of Australian rules football, and so I think I watched more Australian rules football over the weekend than I've ever watched. So and even watching all sorts of things. So I had a lot of sports channels, I had a lot of cable TV channels, which was great. And I'm a bit obsessed with sport anyway, so I'll watch anything. So I was watching some really unusual events and things like that over the weekend, which was pretty cool. So yeah, the only thing that really ran through my head after what happened on Friday was a bit of the kind of, I think we've all seen those TV shows, and there's always one that comes out in the news every couple of 6 months or so, where there's that 300 kilo or 700 pound person who's really hasn't left their home in years and years and years, and they need to get them out of the house, and they get all the ambulance, and they get a crane, and they remove the glass from the window and all that kind of stuff. And I felt a bit like that, just because they needed 3 ambulances to get me out, and it was more that they needed all the bodies, all the ambos to actually do it. They didn't really need 3 ambulances, but they actually just needed all the bodies there to pull things. So it's probably one of those things that when you wait, you don't really think about this kind of stuff, but it's going, well, when something does go wrong, you really need to be conscious of that, and actually work out how are other people going to be able to help you if you are. So that's probably one of the, when you start thinking about what we do, my journey, it's probably another thing to add to the fire in the sense of how we do it. So Saturday came along, lots of fluid, lots and lots and lots and lots of fluids and food. And what I actually made a real conscious effort on Saturday morning was, whenever they brought me something at the hospital, I'd always eat it. So literally at one stage, I'd worked out most of the drinks, most of the food tubs, most of the yogurts, most of the things were all about 150 mil, 170 mil. So my theory was, if I tried to break it down, so if they brought me a drink, they brought me 3 things at breakfast, I made sure I had drank or ate all of those things by the time lunchtime came along. So, and then between lunch and dinner, the same thing. Most of them, they bring you a soup, and then bring you a water, and bring you a jelly or something like that. So I made sure I didn't send anything back. By the end of the day, and then by dinner, same thing. They brought enough stuff, and then I just kept. I didn't send anything back. I just made sure I ate it, even if it was just a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. So I really felt like Saturday I was just eating continuously or drinking continuously. But by doing that, it really made sure that I was keeping up with my fluids, and it actually meant that. And at that stage, I was still on a drip. So I was still, by the time I went back to Warringal on Friday night near midnight, it actually slowed down the drip, so it wasn't coming through as quickly. So it was just a real gradual drip. So I had that also topping me up. So my surgeon came back in on Saturday morning and on his day off and was amazing. And he just said, look, little steps. Okay, you've had this step back, but now you're going to move forward. And that's what actually happened. So Saturday night felt fantastic. Felt really good. Felt like I was doing really, really well. Sunday mornings when the bruises came out. So I've just showed you my bruising. Huge bruise. Really sore. But it's actually the kind of the surface. It's on the surface, so it's not actually internal. So I kept up to my liquids. Lots. Same theory. 3 drinks. Three different things before lunch. 3 different things before dinner, and then 3 things after dinner, including dinner. So, and by doing that, I was making sure that I was getting my 150 mils to 2 litres all day. So I was sent home on Sunday morning. I have to say, when I was walking out of the car park with my wife on Sunday morning, she couldn't believe how well I was moving compared to when I got when I went home the first time on Thursday, even when I was moving out to the car on Thursday. And she was, I was really kind of taking little steps, but I was pretty much walking normally, even to the extent that there was a couple of times that when she was driving, maybe she wasn't speeding or anything like that, but it was just like, love, can you just slow down a little bit? I need it. So, nausea-wise, I had nausea up until pretty much I came home the first time, but I really have been really good with nausea since then. I've had occasional Maxilon, maybe one a day. In fact, I don't even think I had one yesterday. So it's been really good in the sense of that. Monday, quiet day at home. I've really been a quiet day at home and really making sure that I didn't do a lot. Being a lot more awake, which has been good. I was awake for a good couple of hours in the afternoon, and I'd be having short naps, so half an hour here or an hour here. The only thing is my sleeping overnight. I'm noticing that I can go to bed about 9, 10 o'clock at night. I'm getting till about 2 in the morning. I'm still waking up every 2 hours and needing to do a wee, which is good. But getting till about 2 or 3 in the morning, and I need to just get up for a little while. So, which is fine with me because Wimbledon's on at the moment. So it's something. There's always something on the TV for sport, your sports nights. So I've been able to watch a bit of sport. So, and I've also, for the other sports fans up there, I've got the OJ story recorded, which was on ESPN a couple of weeks ago. So, and going through the 10 hours of that, so, which is a marathon in itself. But I'm really enjoying it. My dinner. One of the things I noticed on up until Monday, I wasn't really struggling in the sense of eating. I was really quite surprised that I wasn't having those kind of. I know people you talk about how you hit your wall with the eating, that you can only eat little bits, and I know from what I've been told from a surgeon, my stomach's only the size of a quarter of a cup at the moment, or that's how much I should be eating in the meals. But I really hadn't had any problems with that. I was just eating. I wouldn't say I was eating a lot, but I was eating gradually, and I wasn't stopping. But that really stopped a little bit by Monday night. And Monday night, I sat down with the family to have, and I've made a whole lot of little soups, which are about that size, which are about 150 mils. And some of the times I'm eating those. It's taken me quite a while to eat those since Monday, but that's fine. I'm still getting that kind of 9 drinks or food in a day. So, and making sure I'm keeping hydrated and also just viewing the colour of my urine and things like that when I go to the loo. And so I'm probably telling you a bit too much here, but that's all right. We're all friends here. And also trying to manage my sleep a little bit more. So in the sense of the kind of comments of when you're having something to eat, where you have a spoonful and then put your spoon down, and then let it and then waiting a sec, and then put it, and then having another mouthful, and then putting the spoon down instead of just shoveling it in, which is something that I need to get more of a focus on. So, but that's something I can work through. Yesterday being Tuesday, quiet day, pretty much like Monday. One of the things I did notice, I've been a bit confused about what drugs I've needed and what tablets I'm needing, and trying not to. But my pain's been like down. If it's out of 10, it's been like 2s and 3s. So in the sense of like all the strong drugs, the oxynorum, which is the one that I was having, which is a really strong drug, and it makes me very drowsy. I haven't really needed. I might have needed one of those a day lately. So, but I can have them up to 3 every 3 hours, or 2 of those every 3 hours. But I've only even had one of those a day. So I'm mostly managing it with Panadol and things like that. So, and that's not even every regular. That's kind of I'm taking it as needed. So I probably had 6 Panadols yesterday in the last in a 24-hour period, which is a lot less. Which is 2 less than what they that your maximum is anyway. So I'm doing pretty well with that, all that kind of stuff. But one of the things I did know was just trying to mix all the drugs and things like that. So I've done the whole. I feel like a pensioner now because I've got my pills, and one of my part-time jobs when I was growing up was the chemist delivery or the pharmacy delivery for the local community. So I used to every night jump on my bike and ride up to the chemist, and he'd get me to ride around delivering chemist deliveries to all the little old ladies around the community. So, and they all had and I remember Monday afternoon used to be delivering all the Docet boxes down to one of the old citizens villages, which was about 100 of these kind of little Webster packs. So, feeling a bit old at the moment because I've got my own Webster pack, my Docet pack with all the pills, and I've got the morning and the afternoon, the morning and evening kind of stuff. So that's good, but as I think I need to manage it, and that's most of them are my vitamin tablets, so which is good. But I've really been doing that in the last. I did that last night, and to get on top of that and make sure I'm really making sure I'm doing it. So, in conclusion, I think that's about it. As I said to you guys, I'm doing really, really well. I don't want to concern people. It's been a really tough week, and it's been very 2 steps forward, 1 back. 2 steps forward, 1 back. As you can see, like, I haven't had a shave in I don't know how long. My hair's just all over the place. But I need to. I promise I'll have had a shave and all that kind of stuff. Oh, one final thing I just wanted to talk about was work. I'm due back at work next Monday. The way I'm feeling at the moment, I probably won't get back to work on Monday. I've already flagged it with my staff, one of my staff members who's been acting in my role while I've been at work. Flagged it with her yesterday. I haven't flagged it with my manager yet, but I'm just really feeling surgery-wise I'm doing really well, coming out of it really well and all that kind of stuff. But I still don't have a lot of energy. I'm really being conscious of not doing too much. So even to the extent of we've made a bit of a rule in the house that when it comes to I always knew I wouldn't be able to pick up our boys for a little while. So, which is Xavier who's 6 tomorrow. So happy birthday, Xav, and Oscar who's 4. But then I've also got Matilda who's 4 months old. So she was 4 months early in the week. And even picking up Matilda is hard work for me. So I'm really making sure that I don't do anything stupid and like literally the things that my wife's letting me do are literally go to the toilet, move myself out to the couch, make myself a drink, get something from the fridge, and pretty much move over to the computer chair here. So, but even then, I haven't really even spent a lot of time online. So, and just spending a lot of time on just watching TV and watching some old TV shows that I wanted to watch, and so yeah, it's been good to have a bit of time, but. I'm still not really. I don't think I'm up to work yet. So I'm also going back to see my surgeon next Thursday or tomorrow week, and I'm actually starting to think that I might not worry. I might take the rest of that week, all of next week off also, just because I have about an hour's drive to work each morning and night, and I'm just a bit concerned that I might struggle to. Well, first things first, there's no way I should be driving right at the moment, and I don't want to put myself in that danger. And the second thing is that that the length of that drive is going to be a big drive. So we are going out for lunch on Sunday to catch up with some friends, and we're most likely going to a restaurant which is not far from my work. So these friends live near where I work, and one of them is she's about 8.5 months pregnant. So we're trying to be nice to her. But we're also seeing it as a bit of a test to see how I go. I'm not sure if early in the week I was thinking it would be a good drive. It would be a test for me to drive to that point and see how I go. I'm really at that point that I'm thinking I'm not even sure if I'll be up for that at the moment. So I've said to work that look, I'll give you a call on Friday to see where I'm going. But probably we have a big monthly meeting that happens on Tuesday next week, which I normally run, a big community meeting with about 50 people there. And I've said to them, look, it's probably worth planning this week that I won't be there on Tuesday. So, which the guys there are more than capable. They'll be fine with it, and but it's just I thought I'd let them know early in the piece. So, going to give them a call on Friday and just let them know how I'm going. But look, each day it's little steps. My pain at the moment is, as I said to you earlier, is more bruising from the fall than from the surgery. So anyway, that's about it, guys. It's great I've been watching a little bit of videos, but I haven't even had a lot of energy to really get to the computer, and I hate watching the videos on my phone. So I'm looking forward to actually just sitting down and watching a couple of videos and seeing how some of the people that I've followed to really watch some of their older videos when they were just coming out. So, but thanks to the guys who comment regularly, and Lisa, she was messaging me a couple of days after surgery. Greenie's been messaging me. Tanya's been messaging me, and Phil messaged me this morning. So I'm half expecting when people watch this video they'll be a little bit more concerned. But as I'm saying, I'm actually feeling alright now. So. Alright guys, thanks for that. I think this has been probably my world's longest video ever, but as you can understand, it's been a bit of an eventful week. Alright, thanks guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.